Today, from GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The usual sea of red here in this spectacular venue has been turned white as we are high above snowy GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in KC. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And incomplete to open things up.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 44, Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. On play action, Lawrence. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. Lawrence. And connecting here with DJ Shark. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Lawrence finds the open target, Arnold. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. On the slant, this is Chark. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the 4th quarter. But here, it's happening early. A definite statement. They've held on to the ball for a healthy portion of this first quarter already. And now after that completion, they're set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. From the 9, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars! DJ Chark on the touchdown throw from Trevor Lawrence. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. The underdog here showing no fear. Great opening drive.
Now, we weren't in the locker room for the pregame speech, but I will guarantee you, somewhere along the way, the head coach said, let's just grab a big stick and smack them with it and let them know we're going to be here today. They may be the team that's supposed to be superior, but we're not backing down to anyone.
And on the road, no less, setting the tone. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Locates Hardman for another catch. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
1st and 10. It's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mahomes going to throw. It's Kelce on the ground. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and goal at the 1.
1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Edwards-Helaire will take this one in. It's a Chiefs touchdown. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
Now he's forced out left. He'll have a first down past the 40.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here's Lawrence. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive, and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
On first down, it's Robinson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Mahomes now on 1st down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talk about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Butker now to add the extra point. He's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 33. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. Space to run past the 20. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelsey, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
They go play action now. Lawrence. And Sharp calls it in. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
To the 24 on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now with Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. Marvin Jones. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Play after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Right there. 54, right there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now here's Mahomes. It's complete to Robinson.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
After review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman there to make the grab.
And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Butker now to add the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. On the run, it's Robinson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Lawrence will throw. Connection made with Chenault. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Let's go. 10-2 side.
On 1st down, Lawrence. Jones has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run. Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly. and knocked it free.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw 3 beautiful touchdown passes.
Now he's looking for 4. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Mahomes to throw once more. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Finding Edwards-Helaire once again.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Finding Hardman here over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out in the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And again, it's Mahomes. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs. Able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal.
This from 44 yards out, left hash.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half.
It's all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down.
Now Lawrence. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, Lawrence on the slant. He'll get it to Jones.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Lawrence able to complete this to Chenault. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
On the ready.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Finds the open target, Arnold. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon. As we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes locates Hardman for another catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dwayne Smoot in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
To me, the defense is looking a little gassed near the end of the 1st half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here's the Chiefs punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Pardon, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Robinson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Now Lawrence. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run here with Robinson.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here's Lawrence. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down.
Now Lawrence to throw.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
On first down, it's Robinson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Here's Robinson again on second down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Back to throw. Lawrence. Takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And this one is right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw pulled in by Robinson here. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now it's Mahomes again. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From midfield, here's Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. That is caught at the 7. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Noah Gray
from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Arnold. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd down, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field.
We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line.
A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
7 yards, the pickup there.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here's Mahomes. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. DeMarcus Robinson. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving him up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And they open the lead up now to 25. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. His throw incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Lawrence will throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, with a dime left on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Lawrence. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And some room to work. 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Darrell Williams, 50 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Butker now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault.
That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down.
Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. That's Arnold. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Lawrence.
Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 2. It's a throw again is Lawrence. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Now, being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
2nd down at 7. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. A quick slant to Hill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 67 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
Let's go, D. Hey, one set. Check Mike, 50.
To throw, it's Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you could.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Darrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come and have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now out come the Jags. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver. And it results in an incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run on first down. It's Williams, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Quit talking about it.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
And that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Butker now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now Lawrence on first down. Connection made with Chenault. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. That's Arnold. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw, just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in?
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Lawrence going to throw again.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Williams. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Kansas City.